But you know what? We got a caller.
Let's
you guys,
talk.
And I do want to get into this caller because we're going to jump into this a little bit earlier.
Okay.
I told him to give me a call around 7:30.
Let's do it.
And my man is called in.
Let's go.
I just want to say a few things about you, sir, before you get a chance to say something and just, try to show you a little bit of love. On the phone, we got my man Blaine Senior. We got Blaine Wade Senior in. He's a father of 3. He has a blog that is dedicated to parenting, and just stories about your everyday parent life. If you're a single parent, if you're a dual parent, and you want to share on his blog, you have the opportunity to do that.
Awesome.
His website is waytoparent.com.
Okay.
Because, his last name is Way, waytoparent.com. And you can also find him at Way to Parent blog on social media. I want to welcome into the show my man, Blaine J. I know what the J stand for, Way Senior. Y'all give a hand for Blaine.
Hey,
Blaine.
big boss.
For having me. Thanks for having me.
How you doing, my man?
Doing good. It's 10:30 my time, so I'm usually in the bed.
I hear you. So he's staying up late right now, and
old bones.
He got old bones.
Old bones.
All right, so you gotta be careful because Shamila know everything that you want to say. She got some other stuff to say against it. So
me and him go. This is James all day on Messenger.
We're supposed to be a team now.
No, we go back and forth all day.
This is gonna get
This guy is the king of the gifts. Okay, all day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but yeah, definitely, man. So welcome to the show. It's the Our Perspective podcast. I want to talk to you about waytoparent.com, man. I want to know, how did that come about? Where's the vision? Just kind of take us from the beginning. Definitely talk to the people about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so Way to Parent basically came into play with just me raising my kids. The support I got from my parents and close friends. It made me realize that a lot of other people may not have that support, and they may not have the resources like I had. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to highlight parents that was chasing their dreams, getting it done like myself, and showing other parents that they can do it too.
I love one of the quotes, at least the main quote that you have on the website. It says, "Just because we don't know each other, doesn't mean we can't help each other."
Oh, I like that. I like that quote.
Right, that's what it's all about. Helping instead of putting negativity in the media all the time. I want to promote positivity out there with parents and show some people doing the good stuff.
That's good.
So in your parenting, just you parenting, you're a father of 3. I think you got 2 boys and a daughter, right?
No,
two daughters and a son.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So how is it, because you're a single father, how is it dealing with that? Because Shamila called you a unicorn.
I'll call that stress.
That's right. Keep it real. This is the Our Perspective podcast where you can keep it real.
I mean, it's a learning experience. I got 2 daughters,
Man.
That's basically teenagers now, giving me gray hair every day.
I got a few.
My son is a miniature me, so
Poor kid.
I don't.
She said, "Poor kid."
But I mean, it's 3 different personalities, man. It taught me a lot of how to, first of all, develop as a father, because I can't approach them. I have to approach them all differently.
So how do you? Let me ask you this: how do you approach doing the girl's hair?
He said to the point.
Yeah,
because what we really want to know.
Because it's just kind of what I want to know. Because if I had 2 daughters, they'd have fades. Wakanda, Black Panther just came out. They'd be definitely a part of it. They have fades. So how do you approach that?
Yo, so YouTube is great.
Hi, amen. YouTube University.
It is.
Yeah, YouTube is great. So what happened was I tried to braid my daughter's hair. It took me 4 or 5 hours to get done. And she was like, "Nah, Dad."
It's probably you 3 braids too.
Right.
Yeah, it was 3 or 4 braids, man. And from there, I bought her a mannequin. So I went and bought a mannequin, and she learned how to do hair. And after that, she does her own hair and her sister's hair.
And for me, it's the reverse, because I have 3 boys.
Oh, wow.
So I literally just got to the point where I realized that my 6-year-old son needs to go to the barber every 2 weeks, not once a month. Because he was straight George Jefferson around here.
Oh,
the barber was like, really, Shabila? Bring this little boy in twice a month.
Wow.
So, and then the little ones, I mean, you know.
But see, I cut my own hair, and sometimes I don't have to cut it. I can cut it when I want to. I just put some hats on, and I'm good.
Because you have that
Oh,
power.
you must,
My husband does too.
You must be bald headed then.
No.
Oh.
I'm not. But I remember when I was 13, right? So this is my cutting my hair journey. I was 13 years old, and I picked the clippers up, me and my cousin, and we went in the bathroom. We was like, yo, it's easy. We go to the barbershop all the time. This is easy. Well, we tore everything up off our head. We out here looking like a dog with mange, and they had to cut our hair all off. But I kept up with it. You know, I remember I was in high school cutting hair. So
Hey.
let me ask you this, my man. Do you find it reaching out to other fathers who are doing what you are doing or attempting to do what you do? Do you find it encouraging when you find other people who can, and you know, to get that information from them?
I think it's always encouraging when you meet another dad doing the same thing as you.
Yeah.
Because there's so much negativity out there towards dads.
That's
So-
kind of what I was trying to get at right there.
Especially black dads.
Mm.
Yeah, you know, hey, we're run through, dragged through the mud, however you want to call it,
Mhm.
on social media. It's always good when you see another dad doing what he's supposed to do and out there supporting the kids. And so when I see that, I try to relate to them as much as possible, share information, and get them on the blog. I'll tell you the truth. Matter of fact, we're gonna do that for Father's Day.
Nice.
So,
yeah,
dedicate to all-
I appreciate you being one of the soldiers in the, you know what I'm saying, in this parenting game that are out here trying to change the stigma that just because you see me at a movie or you see me at a theme park, it's not just my day with the kids. This is every day for me.
Right. This is my
This
life.
is what I do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Especially
Right.
breaking that stigma for black parents also.
I think the thing that people don't understand is what you see in the media is like 0.1% of real life.
Oh, that's true. That's
You know
a
what I
fact.
mean?
Mhm.
So, yeah, you get the memes, you get the posts, baby daddy ain't this, that. But the reality is, you never know in your neighborhood how many.
It's not
I've met
celebrated.
so many
Mhm.
single fathers of all races,
Mhm.
and they do it well. It's
Right.
not a notion to them. It's not a game.
Right.
And
it's
so-
not for show or any. I mean,
Right.
which honestly, it needs to be done anyway, regardless. So-
Right. And, you know, I feel like single parents, male and female, get a bad rap. I am one. I was raised by one. And my mom,
I was
she
raised by
messed it up royally, you know.
Mm.
But the goal should always be to do better by your own children than was done by you, whether you
Absolutely.
come from a single parent home or
You
not.
kind of got to break
Absolutely.
that stigma of like, just because my mom did it, you know, this just generational curse will not continue on.
Right.
Say that.
And
Right.
because
Right.
they say once you become an adult, you are now, you know what I'm saying, responsible for it. No matter what happened in the past, you're now responsible for it. Once you find out what is right, if you continue to do what's wrong, it's kind of on you.
Because information, knowledge is power, and you're accountable for what you know,
Mhm.
period. So if you know that there is a resource, you know that something should be done differently,
Use
and
this mic also.
and you choose not to shift,
Mhm.
then that's your
You're part
problem.
of the
That's
problem.
your issue,
Right.
and you are the one that's perpetuating the negativity.
Yep.
You know, and like me, my kids are my life. I take it seriously. It's not a game to me. You know, I deal with things like my prime example. The school bus keeps leaving my little 5-year-old son at home.
Ooh.
So the supervisor called me, and he came with the most lackadaisical response. He's, oh, well, transportation changes every day, so hopefully they'll pick him up tomorrow. I was like,
Hopefully.
right. So I said, first of all, are you a supervisor? He was like, yes. I said, you should not be making these phone calls because this is not a joke to me.
Yeah.
My kid has emotional disturbance because I'm going through a divorce. So he feels that he's not good enough to get picked up.
Wow.
You don't have to have that conversation with him in the morning. I do.
Mhm.
So don't call me and tell me, oh, hopefully, you know, like he was just really nonchalant about it.
Yeah.
And I had to get off the phone with him because I was going to get indignant. I was like, you know what? Conversation over. Have a good day.
And that's one thing you don't want to mess with is a black mama about her
A
kids.
mother, period. But it's yeah.
Just
I
A
especially.
mother,
Cool.
period. But yes, absolutely.
And because people are so used to parents not being involved, we look at what's going on in society. People don't know their kids are bullying other kids. They don't know the kid is out here planning to shoot up stuff. Oh, you don't have no rights in my house, boo. I'm taking off doors.
Yep.
I'm doing health and safety inspections.
There you go.
Stripping, you know, If I find out,
Yeah. Sometimes you got to have those hard conversations. You know, my daughter is now 14 years old. She'll be 15 next month. Yes, I'm old. But
No.
she is at the point right now where, you know, we're really just trying to like continue molding her because it's almost let go time. It's almost push the bird out the nest and let her fly on her own, right? And you know, we just kind of have this conversation about identity. Who are you to your friends? Who are your friends to you? Who's the leader at the most time? I mean, I
That's
understand
good.
it's good to be able to follow and just kind of let the friend. Go ahead, my brother Blaine.
No, I would say I just had that same conversation with my oldest daughter.
Yeah,
And well, my daughter, period, about, you know, being a leader, not a follower.
and so what are your daughter's ages? Are your kids' ages?
Oh, my oldest is 14.
Oh, yeah.
My daughter is soon to be 13 next month, and my son turns 11 this month.
Wow. So you write it like right in line.
I'm 16, 15, 5, 2, and 1.
One after the other.
I waited 5 years, so I got 14 and 9.
If I can just add to the conversation, I similar to what you just shared, Mila. I feel like there may be reasons why things happen the way they did, or reasons why you're inclined to continue it, but that doesn't mean that that's an excuse.
Right.
Not every reason is an excuse.
Right.
Honestly, there may be reasons, but you know what I mean. But it's our choice to continue or break that mold. And I totally agree with what both you and James said about that. I want to ask.
She really agrees with me, so I'm going to take that.
I tell my kids that an excuse is a lie looking for sympathy.
Ooh, okay.
An excuse is a lie looking for sympathy.
Because if you can fix it, what are you giving me an excuse
That's
for?
true. That's true. But I mean, and the reason why I say like there may be a reason why I grew up also single family home, and I was a single mother at 2 different points by choice, but because it was a toxic situation, it was unhealthy, so on and so forth. And my focus has always been with my kids during those times. Even I'm going to shower you with love and whatever I have to give, to the point where you're not sitting around walking around like feeling victimized and feeling like you're lacking. You may be lacking. There may be a reason, things that affect you down the line by this other individual not being in your life. But what we're not going to do is sit here and dwell on those things and you walking around with a chip on your shoulder.
Right.
No, we're gonna have your mind focused on what you do have, what you are blessed with, if that makes sense. So if down the line those things manifest and there are reasons why they feel how they do, that's not an excuse.
and I have 3 boys, 5, 2, and 1, and my husband and I are not together because he was just a belligerent drunk, and that's the truth of the matter. And I chose to walk away because not having a father in the home was better than having that type of father in the home.
And that could be that, and that's a really good that's a hard choice to make.
Yeah, it is. That's
but
what I was
when
going to say.
when you're doing it for the right reason, you're doing it for the future,
the health of
because you want to
absolutely.
see healthy. If it's healthy and alone, and it's you know what I'm saying, dysfunctional and together,
right?
I'd rather choose healthy and alone.
Absolutely.
You know, to do it, especially if you know within yourself, like I can do this. I have a support group around me. You know, and that's what I think Way to Parent is kind of creating. It's just a support group.
This is one of the questions too. Speaking of that, Blaine.
Yeah.
Because I started to say Blaze.
She's terrible at names, so if she calls you Boogie Down Bronx, you know, just forgive her.
I started to call you Blaze. Anyway, but Blaine, this is one of the questions I have with the initiatives that you're involved in, with the things that you're passionate about. Do you feel, being a single parent, being a single father, are your thoughts towards the other parent negative? Are they, does that translate, or what are your thoughts about negative thoughts translating to the children?
Well, are you asking, am I speaking negative about her? Or?
Right. I mean, what are your thoughts about that? And yes, do you feel like,
well,
I guess
do you feel like it matters, or it doesn't matter how you're communicating to them when you are a single parent? And I want to know your take.
Okay, so my perspective on it, regardless of what me, her, whatever happened. And I don't never speak negative about the mom in front of them. Like,
right.
That's not me to give them that negative information or anything. As far as her, I mean, we get along. I mean, we communicate, we talk. Because at the end of the day, it's not about us.
Right.
You know, it's about the kids.
That's a blessing.
So Yeah, I mean, because most people they beef, they're beefing about it. But
And that's my perspective too. That's how I treat my children too, even on both, you know what I mean, on both occasions where I was a single parent. I don't down talk. I won't bash and down talk, because again, that still fuels into even the thoughts that you just mentioned, Mila, where you're like, well, I'm not good enough for the everything is
Yes,
tied.
yes.
Psychologically, it's like, well, they're fighting because of me.
Well,
Or
and
they're
then-
this because of me.
And
you
then
know?
also at some point the kids will realize like, okay, well, you're talking bad about my mom, you're talking about bad about
Right.
my dad. This
I'm a
person
reflection.
this person is connected to me. I'm a part of this. So the things that you might say about them may transpire into being things that I might feel about myself.
Yeah, exactly.
So
So
that-
it's important to
that-
consider
it's
those
definitely it's definitely dope that you know what I'm saying, can have that relationship with your children's mother, and you know we pray for those things to be, you know, we don't realize that when our relationship doesn't work out, we still have a relationship regardless.
I haven't arrived there yet. So my older three
But there's
children are
there's-
not my husband's.
Mm-hmm.
But he basically raised my son,
Mhm.
my 5-year-old son, who will be 6 on the 12th. Oh my gosh, time flies.
Yeah.
Anyway, so for my oldest daughter, she is the one who has been affected the most by the absence of her biological father, because they're strangers. Like literally, if it came down to his life and knowing a small detail about his daughter, like her favorite color, he would die. Like it's, you know, and so I'm I'm an involved parent. I'm a very involved parent.
Right.
But I've always had the mentality that you will form your own opinion of your
in
father.
your own time. Yeah.
And when you start asking questions, I'm dialing his number, because I don't have to explain, because
Who he
my
is to
presence
him.
has already been there from day one.
Right,
So
right.
it's his job to answer those questions. So I don't. But now that my daughter is 16 and she wants to talk, we can talk.
Blaine, waytoparent.com is a place where parents of any kind, and I'm sure any color, you know, no nationality or, you know, none of that matters in this. This is all about the betterment of parenting and then the betterment of kids. They come together, they do these things called Testimonial Tuesdays, and then you also like shout out people like the parent of the week or the parent of the month or so on and so forth. Because I was going up and down your timeline on Instagram, and I think that's dope because you really like to focus on the successes and
Very
even
good.
sometimes the things that people may not get completely right and may need help on. You know, can you talk more about that? Why was that the choice? Because we can get into this thing where we want to talk about all the negativity and my kids don't do this and I wish they was this. But hearing the positivity about parenting, especially when it's a hard situation like being a single black father, what fueled you to do that?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, that was just, that was it. It's like what fueled you to make sure that that was the highlight of the website and even of the movement.
I mean, my kids had a lot to do with it because they're in that social media age right now.
Ah,
So, you know, every time I talk to them, you know, they're showing me something negative. You know, I'm on
Right.
this social
It's
media
abundant.
stuff, and all I see is negativity. You know, you don't see too much positive stuff happening out there, and if it is, it's overshadowed.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to create. Like, let's
platform.
show the positivity. Let's show kids doing good things or parents doing good stuff out here, and let's highlight that. Like, even that's what the whole site is about. Just highlighting the good side of parenthood. Like,
I mean, and I'm scrolling through the site right now. You have blogs on here talking about like arming teachers at school. How do parents deal with that? You know, people who work hard and it pays off. You have just people when your kid gets hurt. You know, stop bullying. Advertisements and things like that. Like people don't realize that we as parents deal with a lot. And if you are in a committed relationship with the mother or the father of your children, then imagine if it's hard there. Imagine what it's like for that parent who can't wake up, turn over, and say, "Hey, can you go feed the kid?" Or who's taking the baby to school this morning? Or who's cooking dinner tonight? When all of that lands on you, it's rough. So you know what I'm saying and that's another reason why I really wanted to kind of have you on is because I've been in a relationship with my wife for a really, really long time. I have no idea what I would do. So I commend you, brother. I commend you too, Shamila, like for doing these things. My mother was a single parent. And I do talk to my father, and he'd be like, "Man, you better be glad your mama had you, because you was around me, you'd be a different person."
Wow, that's a deep thing to admit.
You know, but he came to that, and I found forgiveness, you know, in the latter part of my life, you know, towards him. So I commend you for doing that. And then also just another, you know, cool thing about him, you're also an author. You've got a couple books out.
Right.
Can we talk
So-
about the books for a minute?
Yeah. So the books, the first one was Adventures of Super Dad Back to School. So that was basically when we was stationed in Hawaii, and it was just me and the kids. And that book basically came into play because I was talking to my mom every day to vent. Hey, Ma, the kids did this today, blah, blah, blah. And she'll be laughing. So she gave me some words of advice, basically, if I could get in contact with her that day or any other day, just write it down. So I started writing everything down, and as the months went by, I went back and read everything. It was pretty. So I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and see if I get this published, making it a book.
Right.
And I let read it. They loved it. Their kids loved it. And then from there, I haven't looked back. And the second book is Triple Trouble.
Triple Trouble. That's the one I want to hear about because it looked like the dad was mad on this cover.
Yeah, so the first one's basically an introduction of the family. Like I'm introducing the kids, introducing myself. You getting a sneak peek into our lives, what's going on. Triple Trouble is just exactly how it sounds. Triple Trouble. Now you really seeing what the kids doing. It's like a chess move. Like each one is trying to make a chess move to either dethrone me or get up a couple of points on me, and that's what Triple Trouble really gets into. Like all.
So you feel like it's like a gang battle when it's in the house? It's 3 against 1.
You got served.
three against 1. I'm just trying to survive.
There you go.
Out here in these streets.
You only got 3. I got 5, man.
Big upset.
She said you only got 3.
I'm just saying, like, it's
It's
man,
tough.
life
It's
is
work.
not a game with these
Yeah, because
children
sometimes your
running around.
kids are gang up on you.
Oh, my 5-year-old is the smartest kid in his
in
world.
life?
And he ready.
That joker one morning jumped up 7 o'clock. I can't go to school, Mama. Why? I peed on myself.
There you go.
Oh, he said
He
it.
laid there and peed, thinking it's gonna be too late. Like, too bad you can't tell time. It's only 7 o'clock. Got an
There
hour and a
you
half
go.
before your bus come. Go get in the shower.
Let's go there. Let's go to clean this up.
Right. So
But I mean, he woke up and
he
just
was dead
owned.
serious,
He owned his circumstance
soaking wet too.
and thought it was going to be an excuse. It was a reason that you woke up wet.
Right.
But
No, he didn't wake up wet.
He
He was
woke
up
then
and got
peed on
wet.
himself.
Right. That's the problem.
He intentionally did it
Right.
so he can get out of
That
going to
kid
school.
he was like,
every
I got
day.
the perfect plan.
Right. Like,
He was rubbing his
word.
hands. He was like, yo, I got one for him.
Yes.
We
I'm
gonna-
gonna mess up my bed, but I'm gonna get out of school.
So a little tidbit about both Blaine and I. We're both veterans of the U.S. Army. Also.
Interesting.
Well, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service,
You're
sir.
Yes,
welcome, but I didn't
definitely.
fight for you anyway.
What did you
You
fight
fought for
for?
me
Not
because I didn't
James.
fight for myself.
Yes, I am actually a disabled veteran. I have a confirmed diagnosis of PTSD, and I'm an MST survivor. And I share that because I have all of these things going on inside of me emotionally. I'm going through a divorce, but all of that stops when I'm mommy. When one of my kids needs me, the noise has to cease so that I can effectively parent my children, because parents with emotional issues raise children with emotional issues. So if you don't seek help, you don't get counseling, you don't pray, you don't find some outlet for what's going on inside, then, I was a severely abused child. I was in foster care, and my mother was on drugs. And I said all that to say, at a certain point, you just have to do better.
Yeah.
You can't I'll be 38 this year. And if I'm still worried about the things that happened in my childhood, and I'm raising teenage daughters, and I'm trying to raise these boys into strong black men, the importance of emotional health in black men. So many black men suffer in silence because they suffered as little boys, because they're taught, don't cry.
Yeah,
that makes you a punk.
We taught not to be emotional from the
Right.
beginning.
My sons, cry it out. If you need to cry, I'm going to let you cry for 10 minutes. Then we're going to come talk about it.
Right.
And I love on my boys. I hug them. They'll come quickly when they're going through something. Mommy, can I have, even the 2-year-old, I want a hug. I want a kiss. My 18-month-old who can barely talk, he can say hug and he can say kiss, because he knows that if he needs me to love on him, I'm going to love on him. I'm not going to push him away.
Right.
But that teaches him a healthy expression of emotion. Do I tolerate crying for no reason? Oh, no, sir, no, ma'am.
Yeah.
If what grandma used to say, if you need a reason to cry,
I give you one. I got a couple in my pocket.
Hey.
Right. So,
One across my
but
hip.
I think that, and I had this conversation with Blaine. I asked him, do you teach your son that it's okay to cry?
Yeah. So what are your takes on like just emotion in the house? I mean, you have two women in the house, and then you have a young man in the house. What are your takes on that, Blaine?
Well, what I try to do, I try to let them solve their own problems first
Good.
before I get involved.
Yeah.
Because usually I'll come home, Dad, hold up, give me 5 minutes to reset,
Mm-hmm.
relax a little bit.
Recalibrate to home dad now.
Right.
That's deep.
So, I mean, usually if something's going on, usually I try to let them decide, make their own decisions around here. It keeps the stress down for me. If I have to get involved, depending on what the situation is, I kind of look at it from both perspectives.
Right.
And I kind of lay it out for them. And, would you like, if this happened to you or this was such and such, would you like it?
Right.
And they'll ask the question. I said, so why did you do it? So then from there, then I'll make a decision on what to do. But my son is, man, he'll be quiet all day. You turn the TV on, put some Dragon Ball Z on or some kind of hype cartoon.
Yeah.
Hey, he's good. It's my girl.
So, right. So he on cruise control right now, but
We're
one day he
so
might
sure.
just end up and turn and be something else.
Oh, I ain't gonna let that happen.
Well, not like turn and be like something. I'm just saying one day he's just gonna end up like not TV ain't gonna be it no more. One day it's gonna be girls, and then one day it's gonna be
Well, we got shotguns for that.
I'm not ready for that conversation. It's so wood.
Yeah.
Too funny.
I'm gonna put a sign on my door that says I shoot thoughts.
There you go.
A penny
That's a
for
good
your
word.
dots, man. Bars. Anyway.
But definitely. But once again, I commend you, Shamila. I commend all parents
Absolutely.
out there who are doing it. And just so you know, waytoparent.com is an outlet. So if you want to go and follow them on social media, you can find them at Where to Parent blog, or you can go to whereToParent.com.
Way to parent.
Way. I'm saying where.
All
but it's
one word. Way
Way
to
to
parent.
Because his last name, this is where you go. It's waytoparent.com. And you can go to this blog site. You can go to this, central hub and get information. How did this parent deal with this issue? How did this parent get over this hump? And I commend you for that, brother. And then also, if you want to find his book, The Adventures of Super Dad, looks like a children's book. It's very colorful. And it's a black father raising 3 kids and just the struggles of that. And it's an amazing outlet because we need that information. Even if you have 1 kid, if you got 8 kids, you need to know that somebody else is going through that with you. You can find it. It's available on Amazon. It's The Adventures of Super Dad.
Right.
The Adventures of Super Dad. Go to Amazon today, buy 8 books, and now
Pass them out.
Pass them out to
Absolutely.
people that you know that definitely need this. Blaine, man, I appreciate you calling in. I appreciate your lifestyle. I appreciate you just being there, and being another black father, really showing up. Because I'm really tired of the stigma, like, good job, sir. Like, this is what we're supposed to do anyway.
Right. It's not
And
an
some
option.
people, and some people are
Right.
like, don't give me credit for something like,
Yeah.
stop, like, but it isn't. It's underrepresented, and
Yeah.
that's so true.
Yeah.
Right.
Bravo, kudos, and all of those other
Accolades.
Caucasian synonyms to you guys. But like for real, man, shout out to you guys.
I cannot with
It's
them.
amazing what you guys are doing, and
Watch
just
the
continue to
movement,
do it.
James, because we're gonna be nationwide. And
That's what I'm talking
we're
about.
gonna,
Waytoparent.com. You guys make sure you get there. Blaine, thank you for calling in. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for sharing your life. Shamila's gonna stick around with us for a minute. We're gonna get into some other stuff. We're gonna go on a break, but Blaine, we will reach out to you again, brother. I appreciate you. Anything else you want to say to the people before we go through break?
Thank you for having me on. I know I'm about to go to bed.
Yeah, he said I'm about to go to bed. He gotta get up
because
and
he's
make
gonna be
breakfast.
in my messenger at 4:00, forgetting that I'm 3 hours behind. Just so y'all know about that. Okay, this is what I go through every day,
Every day.
boss.
But we appreciate you, man. We appreciate your movement.
Yeah.
And thank you again. And man, keep taking care of those babies, man. You're doing a wonderful job.
All right. Thank you.
Take
Yes,
care.
sir. Yes, sir.
And we got to make sure, we add the information on the Perspective podcast page. You guys make sure you're tuned in. Support good causes. Support great people.
Right,
Say
right.
that. And check out the website because there may be resources
Hey,
and
reach
things.
out. Send me a message. If you need
Yeah.
help through it, I'll work you through it.
But it makes a difference.
I work in therapy every day. I can talk you through it.
Yes.
Definitely. So Blaine Way was our first serial supporter business, and Way to Parent was the first serial supporter business of the show. We're gonna go into another one right now. Shout out to my man Jarrell Golden. He came.